on, everybody? Your man, Lyndon Britt, and this is
Baby, y'all.
They can't hear you.
Hey, I'm Baby, y'all.
Crazy. Hey, welcome to another episode of Breakfast with the Brits. And we're actually on the road on our way to church once again. But, man, we've had a busy couple of weeks. We've been enjoying some time off, celebrating an 11th year anniversary this year. So we're kind of missing from social media, the lives and stuff like that for a minute. But while Facebook is building an audience, as you hop in here, just let us know where you're viewing from. We are headed to Dallas, Texas on our way to church. We're going to do some more praising God. And I hope you all are having a blessed and wonderful day today.
We have to finish our anniversary out with worship service. Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Good morning, honey.
What's going on, Miss Lisa? Good to see you. But today we're going to be talking about the nice little topic of I don't like that answer. And my wife, she came up with a great reason of why she thought I made that for today. But it's just wonderful. We're going to cover a nice little topic. We're going to let her start this thing off and greet you all as I get ready to hit this road and stuff like that. But go ahead and get into it. She said, snowy Idaho, just got off night shift as a nurse. Oh, man.
Ooh, Lord.
We know what
well,
that's
thank
like.
you for joining us and after you get off your night shift.
We both used to work at the hospital overnight, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So we know what you
we know what you're
going through. Trust me.
Except for the snowy part, because right now in Texas it's only 49 degrees and I wear snow boots. See, snow boots in 49 degree weather. So I got you, Lisa. So we're gonna start out this morning talking about I don't like your answer, and I don't like the answer you're giving me. Excuse me. There's a lot that goes behind that, and specifically speaking, when you pray and you ask God for things, sometimes you'll pray and ask God for things, and sometimes He'll give them to you, sometimes He won't. 49 would be heat wave. Woo! In the name of, that's why I live in Texas, because I wouldn't know how to deal with that. Yeah, so sometimes you'll pray for things and pray for things and pray for things, and the answer you receive is not the answer that you want. And it comes to a point where you don't really like that answer. And so what will happen is, you'll start acting funny because you don't like the answer that God gave you. Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes what can happen is you will get that answer, receive that answer, not like it, not accept it, and you start blocking blessings that God has prepared for you. See, sometimes you just have to accept some things that you don't really care for, because God knows His perfect will is better than His permissive will. His permissive will allows you to make the choice, allows you to make the decision, allows you to go through things or not go through things that don't need to be gone through. So when you start going through stuff and you start asking God, let me tell you, you can ask specifics. Let me tell you this. I knew a lady, this was in the past, who had cancer. And she would go, God, you need to heal me from cancer. God, you need to heal me from cancer. God, heal me from cancer. God, heal me from cancer. And that's what her family was praying. God, heal me. God, heal me. God, heal me. Well, she ended up dying from cancer, and her family was upset with God. I said, why are y'all mad? And they were just like, well, because we asked God specifically to heal her, but He did heal her. Don't get upset, because He did heal her, just not the way you wanted it to happen. See, sometimes you have to, when I pray, I say, okay, Lord, this is what I want. I'm petitioning you for this, and this. Nevertheless, not my will be done, but your will be done. Your perfect will be done. And for me, that gives me one of those moments of, okay, God, I understand that your answer may not be the one that I want, but if it's in your will, put me in tune with your will. Line me up with your will. You have to understand that sometimes, well, first of all, we're all put on this earth and we are all going to die at one point. We don't know what she may have been spared. Also, she is safe with him instead. Yes, exactly. Exactly. See, sometimes you have to understand that being here on earth for her, she was suffering. She was sick. She was sick. She didn't have not one day of relief. And when God transitioned her into her spiritual form, then she will never cry anymore. She will never hurt anymore. She will never be sick anymore. Oh, and she was saved. So sometimes you have to understand that just because there are 5 doors open doesn't mean you have to walk through all 5 before you get to the right one. Sometimes you need to sit back and watch God close doors. And so I say all the time I say, sometimes you have to thank God for those storms. Sometimes you have to thank God for that horrible thing that's happening in your life. How do I thank God when all this bad stuff is going on? Because it could have been worse. It could have been worse. But you also have to understand that you are still protected. You are covered by the blood of Jesus. And so even though you are going through some stuff right now, you still have that protection. So you have to get to the point where regardless to what answer God gives you, you accept it for what it is. I was taught that God has 3 answers: yes, no, and wait. But now that I'm older, I understand that God has many more answers than just that. God is not just going to say, yes, you can have it. He's going to say, yes, you can have it, but you have to trust me. You see what I'm saying? There's more to that sentence than just yes. He's going to say, no, you can't have it, but I'll give you this one. So it's like, for example, when me and Pee Wee first started looking for a car, we got a whole bunch of duds. A whole bunch of duds. And a lot of them went back. But we were impatient. And we had to wait on God to bring us the exact car that we were supposed to have. And we just trying to jump the gun because we needed it right now. And what happened? As soon as we got to the point where we were like, forget it. I can't deal with this no more. Lord, here, show us. We got a brand new car. Something that we didn't even think we would qualify for. We just needed to be patient and understand that God's right now answer may be no. But why is that door closing? He's protecting you from something that you need not go into. It's funny because when we would run late, my mom would go, because my mom is one of those kind of people where to be early is to be on time is to be late, and to be late you might as well not come. She's one of those people. So we would be late and she would go, baby, don't worry, God made us late for a reason. It was something he was stopping us from. It was something he was protecting us from. Something we didn't need to see. So when God gives you an answer, Joyce Mays, preach base, speak truth. Been there, done that. Yes, I'm telling you. Sometimes you have to understand that God's answers are different than what you may want your answers to be. But just because you want your answer, don't mean that that's the best answer for you. It's like being a parent. When you're a parent and you have children, your children want to come and play in the kitchen. I'm telling my kids, stop playing in the kitchen. Don't play in the kitchen. I don't allow you to play in the kitchen. Well, why? Oh my God, the stove was on and you touched it. Didn't I tell you to not play in the kitchen? It wasn't the answer that you wanted, but it was the best answer for you. It was in your best interest. So when you have those moments of, God, this is what I want. God, this is what I need. I need this. That does not mean, oh, hey, AB, I miss you so much. Y'all, that's my big bro right there, AB. It says AB Barrett. We need to catch up. I miss you, babe. Anyway, so when God gives you an answer, you need to accept that answer. It may not be the easiest answer to accept. It may not be the answer that you wanted to hear. But you better put your big girl panties on and keep moving. Because sometimes that is exactly what you need. Sometimes your answers, your roughness, because see, I'm the kind of person where I'm very rough around the edges. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear regardless to what you believe. And you may not like my answer sometimes. You may not even like the way it was presented to you, but listen to the message. I tell people that all the time, listen to my intent, not the way it was delivered. Ask me a question, because I'm going to answer you, but don't get mad at me when you don't like my answer. So the thing is you have to be patient, and you have to learn to listen, and you have to learn to wait. Patience is a virtue. You have to learn it in order to get the answers that you're looking for. Because your answer of no may be the answer that you're looking for. You just didn't like the fact that you couldn't get it right now. You see what I'm saying? So just prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for an answer that you may not like. Prepare yourself for an answer that may be given to you that you may not just want to hear at the moment. But please understand and listen to what God is telling you, because there is a blessing behind the answer.
All right.
AB said, wait, Joy said, we must be related, LOL. Girl, look, I ain't playing. Lisa said, be still and know that I'm God. Please, let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, I'm a loud person. I talk all the time. That's me. I love to talk. I love people. I love to talk. That's me. However, when I have my quiet moments with God, I have to focus, literally focus on concentrating on him, because he's not a loud person. However, he does meet me in my needs. I'm just saying. When he needs to get loud with me, he get loud with me, because he know the thoughts in my head are loud. I know that sound crazy, but they are. Like, I'm loud within myself. So it's just one of those things where I still, at 31, I still have to learn how to sit back and listen to God and wait on him to give me whatever it is. So I do. When we going through stuff, people always ask me how you smile. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you have to worship through your storm. Sometimes you have to praise through your storm, because that's what's going to pull you out of that, is the fact that you're relying and depending on God. Whereas Lyndon, he has said the same message, and I love it. My AB. I'm through Pee-wee, I think, but don't say nothing that I want to. Look, if Pee-wee says something I want to hear or that triggers a memory, I got the phone in my hand today, so I might be interrupting him quite a few times. It is a process, AB. You're absolutely correct.
All right. Now that we are halfway through with Breakfast with Bebe.
Shut up. Joyce said hi, Lyndon.
Welcome to Breakfast with the Britts.
Is this a good angle?
I thought that was plural, Britts. Goodness gracious. What's going on, everybody? All right, so question. Now I want you to begin to think about something. I don't like the answer that you're giving me. How many times have you asked for something, whether it be in the physical, or if you're talking to God in the spiritual, and you ask for things in your life? Have you gotten impatient with waiting for the answer? What has been the outcome of you being impatient? Number one, we end up forcing ourselves into situations that we sometimes regret being in, because we're too impatient. Or we get the answer that we ask. We get the answer for the question that we asking, but we don't like it. She gave an example of the car thing earlier. I can remember several people talking about, I want a car, I'm praying for a car. I don't have a car because I got to get back and forth to work. I'm praying for this, I'm praying for that. And you have somebody walk up and offer you a car, and I've seen this happen. Somebody walk up and offer a car to be able to buy a car for a couple of $100, and the person turns it down because that's not what they want. It's not appealing to the eye. Like, wait a minute, you're praying for a vehicle, a car, or whatever, for somebody to give you something for you to be able to get to point A to point B, because you don't want to ride the bus, or you don't want to have to call somebody, or you don't want to walk, you want to keep your job, and somebody offers you something.
Whoa, yes, amen.
You got your answer, but it wasn't what you wanted. It's not what I wanted to hear. I don't like the answer that you're giving me. How many times, there were several times, even with us, when we were, when my wife and I first got married, and for those of you that don't know, we celebrated 11 years of marriage yesterday. And we used to always, we wanted a place, we wanted a house. And we were so impatient with moving. You are not on me at all. You like,
oh, outside. I'm sorry.
And we were so impatient that we ended up moving into homes doing somewhat business with
Really?
folks that,
And he got
I
the
guess,
red stripe and everything.
that we shouldn't have been doing business with, which caused us to be in and out of homes very quickly. They were not the homes that we wanted. Had we been patient, we may have gotten our own house
a long time ago.
A long time ago, a lot faster than we did. But we were so impatient. We want a house. We're going to do this to get that house. We're going to do that to get that house.
Yep.
And it went bad.
It didn't work out.
So we ended up going back to the apartment life, and even after 3 years of being in the same place, but like, want to move. I was like, I'm not moving nowhere else because I got to move all this stuff by myself. You ain't moving nothing. I can't get anybody to help me.
Can I?
And I told her, I said, no, we're not moving till we get a house. Little did I know, I didn't think we went several different places looking for a home.
He spoke that, baby.
And I didn't think we qualified for this. First time we went and looked, it was something that we had seen in the mail. It's like, let's go look. And I'm like, what for? We went and looked, got turned down. We didn't qualify. A little while later, we were asked to look. We kept seeing those flyers again. She's like, let's go back. I'm like, no. I mean, what's the point? I'm not getting my hopes all up just to go back and do the same thing. And guess what? We went back qualified and we have a home.
We have a home.
It's
but you know
home.
what? I don't mean to interrupt him, but
Yes,
here's
you
the
do.
thing. Y'all see all them hangers? We making Christmas trees with my grandmother. That's what the hangers are for. But anyway, the thing is all the crap that we went through, all the moving, all the impatience. Let me tell you something. God will break you down. AB said, I'm a brat. Impatience is all over me. AB, I'm the same way. You know that. You know I'm impatient. You know I have that I can't wait, I want it now kind of spirit. But let me tell you something. All that impatience broke me and Pee Wee down to the point where we couldn't do nothing but sit on our knees. Because he kept chopping and kept chopping and kept chopping. Once we got on our knees, now we appreciate what we have because we went through so much hell trying to get it because we decided to be impatient. We couldn't accept the fact that God was telling us to wait. Better yet, we may not have even heard him in the midst of all the chaos that was going on in our heads. So sometimes you have to get out of yourself. Sorry, y'all. That 18-wheeler got a little close.
Yo, we about to call. I just got hit.com.
He got real close. We was about, what, girl? You won't believe what just happened to me.
About to be on the phone.
We was about to be on the phone.
All right.
Anyway, sometimes when you get broken down enough, it causes you to be humble. Learn from other people's experiences. Like when it came to this, for us, it was like, Lord, we just sick of moving. We got to the point where we were sick of moving because it was what, 14 times in 5 years?
I don't know, somewhere around there.
We moved quite a bit. Quite a bit. And it wasn't like because we were unstable. It was the fact that the rent would go up here and then we would go over here and we would be perfect, then the rent would go up a ridiculous amount. And it was one of those things where we needed to wait because God was telling us to wait. But because we were impatient, we went through stuff that we didn't
can I have it back?
through.
Goodness gracious, you better go. Golly.
I should do breakfast with Baby in the mornings because
you're already doing breakfast with Baby.
Are you sure about that?
God, can you share the camera? I was like mid-story, you about to go all out. So what I was talking about, once again, I was going into my next point of understanding that you have to learn how to be patient. Once again, we had gotten our answer, but we didn't like the answer we were getting. So it caused us to, we put ourselves in predicaments that we didn't want to be in. All right, so now to move on to the next thing, I want you to understand that when God is giving you an answer, you have to understand that your answer may not come in a straightforward answer. Okay, think about this.
AB said, "We got it. Give it back to Pee Wee."
Thank you. Goodness. Okay, understand this. I want you to think about putting 2 points in your navigation system on your Google Maps or whatever you use to get around. How many times do you even need to use your navigation if you're going on a straight path? I'm going right here. If I'm on the freeway, if where my destination is going is straight ahead of me, do you even need to put that in navigation? No, you don't. It's the same way your answer works with God. Okay? Understand this. you're going to have to be navigated through different things to be able to get to the outcome of what you're trying to get. Same thing with the same example with us moving. You want me to hold it? Okay. You're gonna have to get to several different points in your life. Okay, so if you're trying to work on, I want to get that better car. Perhaps you may go up the road. You're gonna make a right turn at this job that you don't like. You're gonna make a left turn to do a detour to get that second job or find that second source of income. You're gonna have to make that right turn, another right turn to get on another street that you didn't expect to get that dud that you want to be able to build your credit up. Okay, then you may have to make a left turn to get back on the service road of whatever to be able to upgrade to another car that's still within your means. You may not want it. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to have to be navigated. There are several points. If you look at going from point A to point B, when you put something in for Google Maps, you're going to have several stops and twists and turns along the way. It's never a straight line. God gives you your answers in the same way. A lot of people expect it to start from point A to point B, and you going in a straight line. If my answer isn't just like this, I don't want to hear that. You don't want to have to deal with the yes and the no's and the hards. Thinking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's selfish thinking. It's that's what I want. And it's fine to have what you want. That it's okay to want what you want as well. But understand that it's not always easy. It's not always an easy path to get there. If you want to make it to the top of your company, do you start out when you walk in and put the application and say, I want to go here, and then your next move from a desk clerk employee goes to being a CFO of the company? No. There are going to be different levels, different things that you have to go through, different things that you have to learn, twists and turns of the job that you have to do to be able to build up that point to make it to that point in the company that you want. And that's just for an example with a job.
Oh, can I chime? I promise I'll make it short.
No.
I promise.
Wait.
Please.
No.
Don't. You're not God. So let me tell you. Look at his face, y'all. Okay, so let me be really quick about this because I promised him that I'll be short. It's funny because sometimes people have their answer and their answer is yes, and they wonder why they're not getting what they asked for, even though the answer was yes. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna use my husband for example. So I love socks. Like, I absolutely adore socks. Okay, and I know that's weird, but I do. So I always be like, ooh, Pee-wee, I want these socks. AB told me no. Yes, I can, AB. I'd be like, Pee-wee, I want these socks. I want these socks. And he'll go, no. In order for you to get some socks, you got to throw them away. Throw some socks away. But I don't want to throw my socks away. But you can't get new socks. You don't have nowhere to put them. And so I said that to say sometimes your blessing lies right in front of you, but you can't touch it because you haven't decided to give. You cannot receive like this or like this. You have to receive like this. Whether you're receiving your blessing, whether you giving, you have to open your hands sometimes. So sometimes you'll have that yes answer, and the only reason you ain't got what you're supposed to have, Joyce said no to. I told y'all the phone was in my hand today. But anyway, you haven't received, you got your answer, and you actually got the answer that you wanted. But the reason you're not liking the outcome is because you haven't decided to make that next step to get exactly what you need done. Sometimes you got to open your hands up and give away, or because you know how they say one man's trash is another man's treasure. You have to give in order to receive. So you want that yes answer. Sometimes you got that yes answer, and sometimes what you're asking for is so close in front of you. You can stick your tongue out and lick it. It's that close. But you ain't got it because whatever God has asked you to do, you haven't done yet. So remember that his answers are not just going to be one-worded answers. It's going to be something else attached to that. Sit still and listen and know that I am God. He will tell you exactly what you need to do to get what you need to get. I'm just saying. Now back to Pee-wee.
Yeah. And that was short, y'all.
That was short, actually.
Another 5 minutes and that was short. Can you put the camera on me instead of the scenery? So, what I want you all to do, I think you all have gotten the point of I don't like that answer. What I want you all to do is, as you begin, number one, when you go to God in prayer, when you have your quiet time or whatever it is, number one, don't just go asking for stuff. That's a lot of people waiting till go to God and Thanksgiving and happy and joy and stuff like that. But a lot of people wait until they're having tough times and hard times to begin to talk to God. Go to God in great times of giving, when you're having wonderful days, when you're having blessed days, not just when you're down. But most of all, don't go to Him just to ask for stuff. So like, Lord, can I have, Lord? If every time if you really pay attention, this is something that I had to overcome, and I began to see when I paid attention to what I was doing. Every time I opened my mouth to pray to God, it was, Lord, will you allow me? Lord, can I get this? Lord, can I get that? Regardless how large or minuscule it was, I was always asking for something. Just go in gratitude and thank sometimes. But when you do happen to ask for things, pay attention to the things that are happening after you ask.
Lisa said this was short in female language. I'm glad somebody understand me, honey.
Yeah, I'll be ready in 10 minutes. I might as well took a nap. Yes, I understand.
I came with you. This was not my fault this morning.
God dang phone.
No, finish what you said.
But, man, goodness. But what I want you to do is take the time when you ask for something, begin to pay attention to the things that are around it, because your answer may be right in front of you.
Hi, Larry.
Your answer may be given to you. Okay?
Say hi to Larry.
What's going on? I hadn't seen any names since I'm driving, so hello to everyone that's hopping on. I apologize. I'm unable to look at all the names. I'm trying to pay attention to the road, so I'm not doing this. But I truly pray that you are paying attention to the answers that God is placing before you, because once again, it's not always a straight point. It's not always a straight point A to point B. You got some D-turns, some detours, some left and right turns. And understand this: on that path, you're going to run across some stumbling blocks. You're going to run. No, I ain't talking about stumbling blocks. Understand, on this path of twists and turns, you're going to have stoplights. You're going to have stop signs. You're going to have yield signs. You're going to have go signs. There are going to be certain times in your life where you really have to react to those type of things. And understand, so when you do this, you come up to a point where you're at a traffic light, God is telling you to stop. Pause. Wait a minute. Slow down. Stop with that yield sign. Stop rushing in, just like we did. Stop rushing into things. They got that yellow signs and those yield signs. When you getting on the freeway and you see that yield to traffic, or when you exit off yield to traffic, what happens if you don't? There's a collision. You end up going through those bad things that you didn't want, those things that you really regret. You got those stop signs letting you know, look, you may end up having wrong way traffic.
Okay? Slow down, pay attention to it.
All of that. You know what I'm saying? How many times have you gotten on when you see a one-way street that says one way, or you see that big red sign that says wrong way? That's when we begin to try to make our own decisions, try to make those things happen for ourselves instead of trusting on what we're asking God for. Perfect example. Look at this.
We're in the middle of construction right now. Perfect example of what he's talking about. You see that sign right there? One of them say no right turn. One of them say no truck. I don't know if y'all can see that, and I can't zoom in. Oh, I can zoom in. Come through Facebook. See that? So that's exactly what he's talking about. Sometimes when you get in the middle of a situation, the reason they don't want you to turn right here.
Or you end up having situations like this.
Oh, look, y'all, look.
Guess what? A collision.
Collision. Why? Because they didn't yield to the signs that was put right in front of them. Hello?
I can't say that's why they had a collision, but that's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm assuming, though.
But you get what I'm saying. There are so many signs. And a lot of times...
I got it.
Stop. I'm trying to do something.
Stop yelling at me.
A lot of times we ignore this sign right here. Y'all see that? Do not enter. We want to make our own path. A lot of times God is telling us, do not go that way. And we enter on our own.
Lisa said, or it's getting stuck behind a tractor on the highway. Yes.
But that's what we do. That biggest day, and we can see it right before us, do not enter, and we still make that decision to do something because we feel it's best for us. I don't like that answer that you're giving me. If you all have experienced that before, you've seen a lot of mistakes made in your life that you regret, that you wish you could have changed or you could have done. All you have to do is learn how to sit and be still.
Yeah.
Just like you said.
And listen, prayer is a big key That's because that's where you get your answers from. You get your answers from reading daily and understanding what the Bible talks about. My cousin said earlier, it's little Larry, he says, pray for others also. So when I pray, I was taught to pray joy. Pray joy. Not pray for joy, but pray joy. Pray joy means Jesus. So thank God for Jesus. Pray for others and pray for yourself last. Don't be selfish. That's how you pray. You pray joy. Jesus, other, self. Joy. Joy. And so when it comes to the point of praying and getting your answer, understand faith without works is dead. You can't pray and pray and pray and pray and pray for stuff and you don't get up and go to church on Sunday mornings. You can't pray and pray and pray and pray and pray and think God gonna give you the answer, because your answer could be yes, but you don't understand that because you ain't read his word. You don't know what's going on in the Bible. You don't understand that when you sit down and you spend time with God, reading his word and getting to know him, it's an intimacy. It's a relationship. I say that all the time. People be like, oh my God, girl, I'm going to lose my religion. Well, what kind of religion you got that you finna lose it? See, because it's a religion. You can lose a religion at any day. However, when you have a relationship with God, it doesn't matter what your religious practices are, because that relationship will not go away. We talked about that all the time. So in order for you to understand the answers that you get, because you may see an answer, you may think that's the answer that you got, and it ain't. But you don't know that because you ain't spending no time with God. It could be a clear green light, like this right here. It could be clear that you have a green light to go. But the people sitting in front of me are stopped. Why are y'all stopped and it's a green light? Because I haven't sat back and paid attention to all the traffic that's going on around me. When God is giving me a clear stop, I run into the back of somebody because of the fact that I did not know God enough to watch him say, stop and slow down, honey. You need to relax. You need to wait. You need to be patient. I don't hear God saying that because I don't know him. You guys have got to have a relationship with God, not a religion with God, because there are 1,000,001 religions. Everybody has a different perspective of who God is. But we have a relationship with yourself, and you pray for yourself, and you read for yourself, and you understand for yourself. It doesn't matter what people, you can sit somewhere and be like, that is a whole bunch of foolishness, because that ain't even in the Bible. How you know that? Because I don't spend enough time with God. No. You see what I'm saying? So what all I'm saying is, or all we're saying is, understand that when God gives you an answer, even if it's something that you do not like, even if it's one that you do not want, even if it's one that you don't understand, sit back and understand. Sit back and wait and listen, because he'll give you exactly what you're asking for. The Bible says, asking you shall receive.